You are about to witness the power of toy knowledge. Where are my figures at? Straight out of Poland, it's my homeboy Rick, classy action figure seller with a 6-inch dick, the Bruiser, in his stonking collection of action figs that he sticks in his ring. 6 solicited pics for like button clicks, everything that drips out his lips is a statistic. Yeah, he's the kind of dude can tell you who threw who out of Rumble 92. Need to know a bit more? Let's check out his stories, putting figures in a box daily. And for this little rap, he didn't even pay me. So also on the show is Martin.
Welcome to 7 Figs a Month. And if you've clicked on this thinking you're in for some financial advice, you're sorely mistaken. I'm Rich from Action Figure Seller. And with me today is my buddy Marty.
Hello.
Who's the Jersey Retro Toy Hunter himself. And he's taken you through the entire LJN line with me week after week as we've been doing. And here we are about to talk about Series 4. But before we do, have you retro toy hunted anything this week, Marty?
I have. I did a good one this week. I got the original Millennium Falcon Star Wars toy, and it was a bit grubby. And I tried to get it to work. So it's got like a button and it does like a sound. So I couldn't get it to work. So I looked on a YouTube video and it showed how to like open it up, and like it could be the motor or the batteries aren't touching it properly. So when I opened it all up, I found a Han Solo toy inside. So that was really nice. A free Han Solo.
Fantastic. And how did you acquire this? Sorry,
it's a charity shop. Yeah, I wasn't allowed in anyone's loft.
Oh, okay. So you went in a charity shop by chance, and there was this magical piece.
By chance, it was there. I didn't go to a charity shop by chance. That was a choice.
Okay, got you. Good. Okay, well that's tremendous. And how much did it set you back, if you don't mind me asking? Or was that secret?
It's a secret, but it was £35 with a free Han Solo, which isn't bad, really.
Yeah, joke's on them, right? They didn't know Han Solo was hiding.
Exactly. They pretty rattled it around and thought it was broken.
They should have known, because it's his ship, right?
Yeah, but he's hiding, though.
Yeah,
it looks like they've had a good look.
Yeah, no, fair balls.
But when I was trying to fix it, it was rattling around, so I was wondering if the motor had come loose. So I was thinking, if I open it up, I might be able to fix it.
Oh,
I didn't fix it. I couldn't do it, but I did find Han Solo. And then I looked on when I was looking at a YouTube video, I wanted to see what the actual sound was, and it's awful. It's just like, it's like, I don't need that. So I just stopped.
No, you can do it yourself, right?
A really good job of it as well.
And where does this Millennium Falcon sit now in your home?
It's on my bedroom floor.
Fantastic. Where all
what's on the dinner table? The missus has taken it upstairs and just put it on.
Play with.
No. That's you need to put this somewhere.
Ah, no.
And not in a good way. Not in a good way as you need to display this. It's like, get this the fuck out of the house.
It's not her snatching it from the dinner table and rushing upstairs going, I need to have a fiddle with the Solo.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, that's nice. During this journey of discovery that we've taken upon ourselves to do, right, I found out a little bit of information that was a shock to me. And I don't know if you are aware of this fact.
Okay.
Right? And I haven't told you this beforehand, so this is exciting to me. And maybe maybe below, everyone knows that, you idiot. Right? Are you familiar with those IWA King of the Deathmatch tournaments in Japan?
Yeah.
Did you ever own any? Or because I owned 95, the sort of famous one with Cactus Jack and Terry Funk.
Yeah, I had that on video that was like burnt off other videos and it was terrible quality.
Yeah, I had it on DVD. Yeah. Do you remember a character on there called Leatherface?
Yeah.
It's sort of famous and sort of deathmatch scene in Japan.
Yeah.
Guess who that was?
Is it at the end of the series?
That was Corporal Kirshner.
Oh, fucking hell.
I was blown away.
Yeah. No, never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's not one of my funny stories where it's like, oh, let's make something up. That's genuine. You can Google that. That's a fact.
I'm wondering, because Mick Foley talks about him quite a lot in his book, like Leatherface. I wonder if he mentions him being Corporal Kirshner and I just never paid attention.
What if, like us, he doesn't know?
That'd be good, yeah. Not because he's never seen him without his mask, but just like everyone else, he's got no fucking clue who Corporal Kirshner is.
That's it. So, yeah, that completely shocked me. All our years of sort of reading all these books and stuff, and that never sort of connecting.
That is surprising, because when you originally said it, I thought you meant it was going to be someone from this series, and I was like, fuck, is it Ted Arcidi? He's the only person I can attribute it to.
No, yeah, I can't remember how I came across that now, but it's just, little factoid, looking into these guys and what they did next and stuff.
Nice little nugget.
Yeah, there you go. I thought that was. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't know. I'm glad to educate. So we're here to educate, right? That's the whole point of this.
It's like going to school.
Yeah.
We don't go to school anymore, so we have to learn LJNs instead.
No.
There'll
That's
be a test at the end.
there will with an expert historian, hopefully. I look forward to that one. So we are looking at series four. Is that right?
Yeah, we're on
Series
series 4 now, yeah.
series four, and much like series three, they continue the trend of adding managers.
They do. And also, the good thing about series 4 is we do have a murderer on our hands.
Exciting stuff.
We won't spoil it. Stay tuned. Find out who did the kill.
We get to use that song, Callum, mate.
Oh, nice. I've not even heard that.
A treat for when you listen back, mate.
Yeah, that's it. That's my Sunday sorted.
Exactly. Right, another big series, this one.
How many have we got?
We have 20 figures here, mate.
Yikes.
One's a variant. So last time I wasn't even including some variants in my head, but I have included this one. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not sure the ins and outs. But we'll kick off with an incredibly shit figure. And this is your man, Jumping Jim Brunzell.
My boy. It's almost as if I'm looking at my own hands when I'm looking at this toy because he looks a lot like a thumb.
It's just it's just bad, isn't it? He's got the thumbs up. So, as always, I think we don't really know how I'm rating these. I'm looking at them with an adult's eye, right? And also how I might play with them if I was younger, a sort of merging of the two, I suppose. And I'm not playing with this guy who looks like he's given a thumbs up.
No, I'm not
Eh,
playing of him as a man or as a child, I don't think.
yeah, no, exactly.
So I think I agree with this being placed rock bottom.
Oh, that's nice. So far, I'm right.
Yeah, well done, mate. You're winning. He does look like he's like a human shoved inside another human's body. A
I
bit like
just
on Men in Black, the baddie when he's walking around and he's just sort of stuffed inside. He's an alien.
Yeah. He's wearing a human suit.
He's wearing a human suit that was actually a human body.
It's just, I suppose I'm not the biggest fan of the Killer Bees to begin with, so this needed to be a better figure. He's starting off with negative equity, right? Because I don't like him, and it just needs to be better, and it's dreadful.
Were you ever a fan of Killer Bees
No,
growing up? Like,
no,
no, I
not
think we sort of
really.
missed them a bit, didn't we? By the time we were watching, they were sort of done.
The whole mask thing seems interesting, but also just like it didn't make sense them being faces
Cheating.
almost.
Demolition did the same thing, right? Do you remember when it
Oh,
was the three of them and Mr. Fuji had got back managing them? They sort of wore the masks and then they would swap quite a bit.
I've seen matches where Demolition just switched and the referees were blind to it.
The
Do you
referees
remember
were
that?
hammered because you could tell the difference.
Yeah, no, the 80s were wild time in the 80s. Just blind referees everywhere. No, Jim Brunzell's the type of toy, right? That if you were going to the shops to buy one of these and all that was left was Jim Brunzell, you wouldn't get it. You would simply cry for about an hour, I
Say,
reckon.
for example, Rich, your uncle's taking you to WH Smith's. Said to you, we can leave and check out another shop, or you can have Jim Brunzell.
Yeah, no, not happening. Not happening. I'm not taking no one. No, I don't reckon. I would hazard a guess that no one on planet Earth owns this toy.
It's the cheapest one you can get boxed.
Yeah,
No one
no.
can't. Like,
Yeah,
there's no buying them.
they've all been thrown into like a landfill along with the ET video games.
And even then, when people dug that up, they took the ET games and left the jumping Jim Brunzell.
If it was a masked version, right? A molded on mask, I would prefer that infinitely.
And you'd buy two because then you'd have the tag team.
Yeah, I don't think I like jumping Jim Brunzell's face. Or yeah. So he's firmly lost, and you agree. So this is off to a winner.
Yeah, I don't care for this one really at all.
Okay, and then we're moving along. We're up
Oh, we
next.
we skipped on something there though. Like we can't just move along. His name's Jumping.
Oh, okay. Does he deserve some points for that?
I no points. I'm just sort of it's just odd, isn't it? Like at the time, that was like a standard nickname. Like you had Jumping Jim Brunzell, the Jumping Bomb Angels, Leaping Lanny Poffo. Like a jump was an impressive thing.
Were they ever pulled together for an episode of Tuesday Night Titans or something where they competed in like squat jumps or something, or that long distance or
I hope so.
anything? That'd be
The
nice,
fact
wouldn't
that
it?
no one's ever going to go back and watch all the Tuesday Night Titans, let's just say yes. And Jumping Jim Brunzell won.
That's why Leaping Lanny Puffer had to become the genius.
He was
He
really good at
lost.
maths.
He lost the title of leaping. Okay.
He lost the jumping competition, but won the mathematics.
Yeah, he's really smart. Okay, good, good, solid. Getting to the bottom of stuff straight away, straight out the gates.
Sorry, as you were.
Right, moving on. This guy, long time coming, I feel. Series 4 now, and since these LJNs have been going into shops, he's been in main events. Cowboy Bob Orton. And excited to get him. I don't think I ever really liked Cowboy Bob Orton
No,
when
his
I was
sperm's
younger.
definitely better than he was, right?
Yeah.
Randy Orton, really
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bob, not so much. And I
Yeah.
can only
This.
imagine his dad was even worse.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think again, much like if Jim had the mask, if Bob had his
His
arm
face,
cast, if
his
Bob
arm
had,
cast would be good, but also a face that looked like his.
if he had his own face, it would be yeah, okay. The cowboy hat's doing some heavy lifting here to make it not last.
Cast would be good though, because that was
Yeah.
his whole gimmick for years, was the cast.
Yeah, no, exactly right. He wore this gear. I knew previously, and I don't now.
WrestleMania 3, 2, or 1, or the big event.
What was he wearing? Is it WrestleMania? I'm googling this.
He might wear green trunks and knee pads all the time.
Nah, he wears red a lot.
Oh, okay.
I know WrestleMania 1 he was just in jeans, wasn't he?
Yes, and a black vest, I think. Do you think it was WrestleMania 3 because you watched that yesterday?
No. Oh, he wore this against Hulk Hogan.
Oh, okay.
Saturday night main event, 11th of May, 1985. He's
Good memory.
got his cast on as well.
Ah, so it's not the right gear then. Close.
Yeah, shame he's not wearing his cast. That would give this some extra points. But yeah, out of all, we talk about guys who are missing from each series. This is a guy who could have been in any of them and should have been perhaps. And now he's finally joining the ranks.
Yeah, he's finally there, which is good because now you can go back and relive WrestleMania 1 nearly if you had missed the T.
Okay, up next is the other half of the Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair. Much better than jumping because of the mustache. Much better than castless Bob Orton because of the mustache. The mustache and the pose. Got a
The
nice
pose is quite a
clothesline
good one from
pose.
Brian Blair.
Yeah, B. Brian Blair. Looks a bit like Rick Rude here.
Yeah, I reckon you could do a good slam with that as well, that pose. One arm slightly raised going through the crotch, the other one at the head. You can get a decent slam out of that.
No, yes, solid
Yeah.
pose.
That no good son of a bitch, B. Brian Blair.
That's what the
Hit him
Iron
against
Sheik
the
would
Iron
say.
Sheik. Yeah, you're
Yes.
going to make him humble.
Yeah, no, the Killer Bees, if the Killer Bees are winning any matches in your Fed, it's because of B. Brian Blair.
And you can have Iron Sheik fuck him in the ass and make him humble.
Marty, lowering the tone.
He always says it. It's not me lowering the tone. I'm literally,
Oh,
it's a direct quote.
you're repeating. Okay.
I'm repeating the Iron Sheik.
I was,
Anyone who likes the Iron Sheik, they'll enjoy that bit.
oh, there you go. Oh,
Anyone listening with their children will not.
no, yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't think
I assume it's just 40-year-olds listening.
when I upload the pods, I click explicit on all of them just to
Okay,
help,
that's good.
just to help the people.
It's just not child friendly. That'd be a
No.
nice little trick, wouldn't it?
Two idiots who say bad words and make stuff up. But yeah, other half of Killer Bees. These would have come as a 2-pack, right? I assume. I haven't seen one, but I guess they would have
I think so. Yeah,
with tag titles as well. So that's that maybe some people do own Jumpin' Jim Brunzell then because they got the 2-pack.
And if you own like a pair of yellow gloves as a kid, you can just cut like a couple of the fingers off and use that as a mask.
Some rubber gloves.
No, not rubber gloves. Rubber gloves would work as well. I was literally just thinking of like just gloves, like yellow gloves.
No,
But marigolds. Yeah, if you've got a pair of marigolds, cut that. You can
Okay.
get a Sharpie and draw the lines in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you tempted to buy? Because as we've discussed, Jim Brunzell must be really cheap on eBay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a box Jim Brunzell for really cheap. I'm gonna open it, get a pair of marigolds, cut the thumb off to go with him. It'd be like a bodysuit, and just cut the top off the head,
Okay.
just to
Okay.
cover up the nail of the thumb that is Jim Brunzell's face.
That could work.
I think so.
That could work. If we were separating, we're not going to, but if we were separating these into ranking the tag teams that came together, they'd be bottom, right? There's no way.
Yes, I think just based upon who came before.
Yeah. Oh, poor Jim. What's he ever done to us?
He looked like a thumb, and his name is Jumping.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. Other than that, nothing. He's probably a lovely man.
Yeah, or not
Zero murders to his name that we know of.
that we know of. Okay, so that's the Killer Bees done. Out of here. We're not talking about them anymore. Up next, this guy, along with Cowboy Bob Orton, are probably the two biggest stars in this series. Jake the Snake Roberts is up
I would
next.
agree that Jake the Snake Roberts is one of the biggest stars here.
Yes, but doesn't have a figure that does him justice. I don't
No, the
think.
toy's quite small, isn't it?
Oh, I'm not even thinking about the scale when I look at these.
His pose is a bit rubbish.
His,
Other than that, I don't think it'd be bad.
his pose is rubbish. His snake is small.
Constant complaint.
Yeah, it's
That's that
just.
tiny snake.
I think he's released a T-shirt of this figure saying, "How the fuck am I supposed to do a DDT like this?"
Good. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's something that exists.
How hard would it be to have one of the arms like in a DDT position and he can still hold the snake?
Yeah, so many of these toys have perfect DDT positioned arms, and the fact that Jake doesn't get one, they're trying to hold my man down.
You have to get like a hairdryer and try and melt the elbow of one of the arms to try and like bend it
There you go.
and stick it in the freezer.
There you go. And that snake with him is Damien. Obviously, it specifies that on the box. It's just a weird attire as well. It's a similar attire to what the Hasbro's picked, and I'm not overly familiar. I'm sure, I guess it was definitely from some big event, right?
But this one's got purple boots.
Yes, it definitely didn't exist.
No, Hasbro had skin snake boots, isn't it? Snake skin. Skin snake. You know, the classic boot style skin snake.
Yeah, the Hasbro, and the Hasbro had a nice big snake as well.
Yeah, that looks a bit more like an actual snake rather than just like a long green thing.
Yeah, I wish this was better. This deserved a better figure, and so did Bob Orton, as I say, based on the star power of the two men.
Yeah, the face is good. I like the hair. I like the mustache.
Yeah, this might be one I regret.
As
Where I
mustache fans, we have put these guys quite low.
Yes, that's true.
We do like a mustache.
I just think this series is so peculiar, and the second half of it we'll get to that. But yeah, it's just a bonkers series. Some of these guys have no right having the quality of toy they do.
Yes.
In my eyes, in my eyes.
It is quite good though, because they have got like the top guys out the way in the first few series. So now they're just opening up the fucking world to everyone.
Yeah, no,
Come in,
absolutely.
guys.
So, following Jake Roberts is
Who's not a
Brett.
murderer.
If any of these are a murderer,
You would have thought Jake the Snake, but no, he's just quite traumatized. as a person.
convicted. Oh dear, you're saying no. We have no idea again.
But we assume not based on the fact we've heard nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we'd have to do a murder podcast this one day, ranking our favourite serial killers.
Quite good. Have you ever heard the thing about Bob Ross? There's a thing that he might be a murderer, and all the paintings he does is where he's put his victims.
I've not heard that, but that would be amazing.
Yes, I want to see that Netflix documentary.
But no, hold on. How many? He's done like 2,000 paintings or something, right? And there's no way.
Murders.
There's no way he's done 2,000 murders, unless some of them he's going back, but he's doing it from a different angle.
Oh, that'd be quite good. That looks just like the other one.
Yeah, he keeps them returning to the scene of the crime.
Just a happy little accident.
Yeah, that's what he calls them. It was just a happy little accident, Your Honor. Okay, he didn't mean it. Let him go.
What a nice guy. I've commissioned him for a painting.
Oh, perfect. Poor Bob Ross. Right. Up next is Bret the Hitman Hart, another guy who probably appears too low and I might regret it.
Yes, I think that's a poor choice to stick Bret Hart that low down.
Just again, I've talked about it before in other episodes. Maybe it's just the wealth of Bret Hart figures we've seen. And to be fair, this one has a better face than all his Mattel figures. But just yeah, I don't know. It's a very basic Hart Foundation, and maybe this is accurate to the time with no sort of graphics on their clothes or anything.
Yeah, I don't think they did. It was just standard color because they went for blue for a bit and then pink. They could have had like a stripe, but at the same time, they might not have had a stripe. So
Yeah, but this is very early Bret Hart, so it's not like I'm putting, you know, 5-time world champion this low. It's not bad. You could probably get a good heart attack out of him and Jim. Finishing
yeah,
move.
I think you could do some good punches with this Bret Hart as well, like tummy punches that he does.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like this. I think it's a great toy.
I don't think it's bad. I think
I
I
just think there's
prefer.
10 better in this series.
Yeah, yeah, I do. I really do. Yeah, and that's a shame because Brett is one of our favourites. Eh? We've
Yeah,
mentioned it before. He just, yeah, I don't know, and I don't even know what I'd want out of a Bret Hart figure for him to be further up this list because it isn't a bad likeness. Some of the complaints about the heads, right, that they look nothing like them. This looks all right.
we could almost do like a whole pod about which is the best Bret Hart figure, like out of all of them ever, because there are some wild ones.
Looking at it now, I feel like the torso section of his singlet looks mental and never looked like this. Is that
It wouldn't have been far off.
really? He had full tits either side of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's quite accurate. It's not too bad.
All
Even in
right.
its heyday, it wasn't like a massive singlet like Kurt Angle would wear. It was sort of bodybuilder esque.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's still it comes in at a weird angle, right? It would go more vertical than what you're seeing here.
Yeah,
There's something slightly off of it that makes it look a bit.
around the ribs, maybe it'd be a bit higher, so it wouldn't be so low.
Yeah, I think there's something. Yeah, I was trying to assess what's bothering me about it, and yeah, I would say that's part of it. Yeah, don't know. Just yeah, but I'm more excited
For
about
others.
because as good as Brett is, as much as his work holds up.
Oh, it
Um,
does as well. Yeah, it's Bret Hart is the best in my opinion.
yeah, but he's quite a boring guy, right? In terms of
I
not
don't
not
know. Have you read?
wrestling
I
wise.
fucking loved his book.
I liked his book too.
Yeah, I think he's had a good career. He doesn't mind talking about his womanizing in his book, which a lot of people don't, and I find that quite sad. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, he'd happily talk about cheating on his wife. I think that's quite good.
yeah.
I think maybe that says more about me as a person than.
Yeah, but to the best of my knowledge, you don't cheat on your significant other or kill her. So we can, yeah, Brett. I'm putting him here. I'm putting him here. I say he's boring, but he's just less shouty by the era's standards, right? So he was quite sort of subdued at this point. I remember someone saying he was a terrible promo, and I remember thinking, put him in today's environment, and he'd be like top 5 guys in WWE.
Yeah, his promos weren't bad as time went on. In '97, I thought he was great.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, absolutely tremendous.
But at this point, he's still quite young. He's gone to a new company. Jim Neidhart's there. You can lean on Jim Neidhart, can't you, as his tag team partner to
Yeah, and
shout
he's where
promos. But Jim Neidhart
he's
was pretty rubbish in the ring, so it sort of made up. They worked really well.
yeah, I didn't mind. He was rubbish in the ring at the same way loads of these were rubbish, but at the same
Yeah,
time, sort of good in a
yeah,
clunky, sloppy way.
yeah. Just when I say rubbish, I mean he's not up to Bret Hart's
Oh
standard
yeah, yeah,
or
for sure.
Dynamite Kid, but he's decent. Jim Neidhart. It's just he's not a top guy, is he? But he's
No,
fun.
no. And Brett's shades here, he wore them because he was very nervous and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, so his eyes would twitch around and look everywhere, so he just put glasses on. But even
Very.
that's good, you see your limitations. Like I'm a bit rubbish with controlling my eyes in a promo because I look everywhere because I'm scared.
Oh yeah,
Glasses.
self-awareness is yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why I wore shades in CIW. Try and hide the nerves.
Yeah. Now we know, we just thought you're trying to look cool.
Oh no, no.
Terrified.
Hmm.
That's why you're wearing them now.
Yeah, right. Brett. At the very end, tell me where you would have put Brett. We won't do it in between every single one. But yeah, let me know any glaring disagreements. That's at the
Yeah, I
end.
think the bottom one, two, three, the bottom four, I would agree with. I think
Oh,
Bret Hart. I would put Bret Hart higher.
okay. Where do you stand on Hercules, who's up next?
Bottom five. I definitely wouldn't put him above Bret Hart.
I I'm mesmerized by this wacky outfit he's wearing.
It's
I
like the
love it.
entrance gear, isn't it? So he did wear this. It was at WrestleMania 3. He had this weird
N-
entrance gear on.
no. It must have been WrestleMania 2, possibly. WrestleMania 3, he did it. Due to your outlandish comments about Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 3,
I
I've
barely went into it, mate.
well, no, but off air, we've had some talks.
Yeah.
You think it was shit?
Poke the bear. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
it was shit.
So, what are your thoughts on Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage?
And my thoughts are, I get a little bit annoyed when people say it's one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time because I don't think it was that good on the show on WrestleMania 3. It's one of the better matches, but it might not even be the best match on the show. And
Yeah,
then people say it's my favorite. I think based purely on the fact it makes them look like an educated wrestling fan. So they think they're supposed to say that's one of the greatest matches of all time or the greatest matches in WrestleMania. It's all right.
it's probably not even in Randy's top three WrestleMania matches.
Exactly. That's my point. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And it might not
I
be in
get
Ricky
it.
Steamboat's top match because when he came back and had like, was it three people against Jericho? Was it a 6-man tag or something? Do you remember
Oh,
when he
that
was
was good.
told
They're three against Jericho.
three against Jericho? That was really good. But then he had a better match on the Backlash against just Jericho when he's in his 50s or 60s.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to get a sense of that match myself because I'm like, okay, maybe I need to rewatch it because I thought I sort of just accept the narrative that we're fed by WWE, and that's what a lot of people have done, right? So I've started watching WrestleMania 3, and the first match is Bob Orton and Don Morocco versus the Can-Am Connection. Nice quick match. And the second match is Hercules versus Billy Jack Haynes,
Yes.
and it's tremendous. The build to it is tremendous. It's a nice little Billy Jack's cool. They show you some event previously where he comes out, I don't know, to do the full Nelson challenge or something. He comes out in jeans and he's huge and tanned and
Yeah, it's jacked, isn't it?
he's got a very funky hat, a very funky cowboy hat with like glitter on it and stuff. It's just what a weird looking guy. And
Is it a cowboy hat or is it sort of like a weird fedora thing? I sort of
oh, it
remember it
might be
having
a
a feather in it
fedora.
as well.
Yeah, it was a weird flamboyant hat and
Yes. A bit like
on
the
this sort of rugged guy, and it's just yeah, they're just sort of throwing clotheslines at each other. I think Jesse Ventura even mocks them not doing anything but clotheslines at one point. It's a nice quick match. It ends with double count out. But just the fans are into it. Everything during 87, around this period, fans are losing their shit for, and it's so nice to go back and watch. But so Hercules, I've never clocked it before, but he does a promo, an interview with Mean Gene before the match, and he's talking like he's actually Hercules. So he's
yes.
referencing stuff from thousands of years ago that he had done. And I was like, this is beyond bonkers. I was not aware that he was trying to
At
have
this
you
point, do they call
believe.
him Hercules or Hercules Hernandez? Because they used to
No,
call him Hercules Hernandez. Then I think when they changed it to just Hercules, he started talking more about being Hercules.
I think it was just Hercules at this point because it was
Yeah.
the big chain around his neck. But I would say as well, this an
It
observation
does say
I've
Hercules Hernandez on the box of this LJN, though.
that would make sense with the change, right? So this isn't big chain around his neck. This is earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say to everyone as well, an observation I've made that I don't know if I've seen it repeated anywhere. I feel like Eugene was based on him.
I don't think it's based on him. He just looks like him.
No. Go watch a Hercules match now and go watch how he moves with his arms out and like big steps and stuff. It's so weird. It's so weird. Check it out. He moves.
I know what you mean.
I can't unsee it. But
Yes.
this is a great match. This is a tremendous match.
I think when the Eugene first came on the scene, I thought, fuck me, he looks like Hercules. And I think
Obviously,
his
he's
like
really.
sort of straight arms out, sort of moving around. Like,
I suppose it was buying the tagged classics I started seeing a bit more Hercules. Why is he moving like that? Eugene's been told to study Hercules. So yeah, he does look like him and he does move like him. But yeah, no, this is a solid figure. Sorry, I was getting excited for. So that's as far as I've got with WrestleMania 3. So I will get to Savage and Steamboat.
Hey, mate, wait till you get to Bundy and Hillbilly Jim.
I know that's the good bit, right? No, I agree with that. I like midget crushing.
Yeah. And
Um,
Billy Jack Haynes bleeds in that match as well, which is quite nice.
After the
Do you like
match,
seeing blood in wrestling?
yeah, he's attacked after the match. It's just solid. It's just two big guys. Hercules is another one as well. I suppose we said similar stuff about Junkyard Dog, where like it looks like he got to the WWF and just started enjoying himself, living
Hercules
it
was there
up.
a long time. He was, I think he was there in the 70s, like big jacked up.
Oh yeah. But I would say there's a as WWF increases everyone's pay and popularity, there's a decline in
Yeah, he
his
pretty likes sticking stuff
shape
up his
and
nose.
body, and yeah, he looks like he's struggling some
He looks more worn.
years. Yeah, it's as time goes on,
As time goes on, your paper round gets tougher.
yeah, you act more like Eugene, I suppose. But yeah, no, this figures. I'm obsessed with this outfit because I can't recall him wearing it. I think you're right. I think when
I
you
think
said
it's
he's
entrance gear, and I think he might even wear it at WrestleMania 3, like an entrance gear.
no, it's not
Very similar.
WrestleMania 3.
You sure? Was he wearing WrestleMania 3 then?
He's got the big silver chain around his neck, and it's just like black trunks
Really?
with
Like, 'cause
white knee pads.
I've seen it in something. I've seen him wearing it recently when I'd gone back and watched the shows, but I can't remember which shows I've watched now. It's just there's too many.
It must be WrestleMania 2.
I can't think of who he's fighting in WrestleMania 2, though, if he is.
Ricky Steamboat.
Oh,
Better,
it could be
he
yeah.
has a better match with him than he's.
That's Randy Savage. Yeah. No, Ricky Steamboat's best match WrestleMania 3 fought Hercules Hernandez at WrestleMania 2.
You can get a trading card of him wearing the outfit.
So it exists.
Yeah. No, it'd be weird if that didn't exist, right? Just to make that up.
It's just some guy sitting there at LJN just making stuff up.
Yeah, but this is wacky, wonderful. I love it. This could have been higher. This is one I'd love to own now, just because it's so weird.
Yeah, surprising for you. This is quite low down the list because
Right.
you like the weird and wonderful.
Next up is Jim Neidhart, and I was going to say, right, no tag team members too far away from their partner.
Yeah.
So Jim's the better of the two. I think his face looks excellent here.
He's more of a character, which helps for a toy.
Yeah, I to celebrate the era, I think I would like to sort of just clonk these around with the big guys that they are, right? That seems to be a running theme. I loved John Studd in Series 1 and stuff. I'm not doing technical wrestling with these solid toys that have no articulation. I'm just doing clubs. Yeah, clubs to the back and drop kicks, maybe. But yeah, no, not much to say about Jim. He's
It's good.
Yeah,
It's very similar to the Bret Hart. It's a different face, obviously, because he's a different man. But they're very similar. It's the same gear.
Yeah, he's got his arm up. I think he's winning pose wise. I think I much prefer this pose to Brett's.
I think I prefer the Bret Hart pose, to be honest.
Oh,
As a thinking it in my hands and playing with it.
I'm
Just Jim's
fav-
got like an open hand, palm to the belly, and that would be a bit rubbish. Whereas Bret Hart's got a fist.
I'm favouring the arm in the air here. Arm
That's
up.
fair. Like if we had one each and we had to play together, you could be Jim and I'll be Bret Hart, and then we'd go our separate ways with the Killer Bees.
That's it. That's nice, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. It's weird. We should almost be talking about these as the tag sets, I suppose, which we do mention. You'd pick every single one of these tag team members if you had the option to buy them in the 2-pack that they came in with the titles. You would, right? Every time.
It's strange that they did them in singles and tags. It almost seems like a way to trick people into buying things. Almost as if you make a toy, you do a terrible paint job on it, then you re-release it months later and sell it again with a bit of a better paint job.
Yeah. Yeah, it could just be that, right? Maybe these singles came first every time, and then they're like, oh, let's do the tag set a bit further down the line to get a bit
It could
more
be
out of
'cause
it.
they did the money saving ones as well, didn't they? Where
Yeah.
it's just like two guys chucked in a box, which I guess is cheap because the packaging must be way cheaper on that.
Minus Hercules. Hercules should have been higher. Minus Hercules, that's where the sort of mundane ends here. We're about halfway through as well. And now it just goes off a cliff and it's great. This series, this line. Because previously we've been speaking about like, who we think's missing and who should have been in this line. And now it's just like, oh fuck, they don't care. Anyone can be in it now.
Seems literally anyone now. Like they've asked the sculptors at LGN, I don't know, who do you fancy making?
Yeah.
And they just decided.
Yeah, where's Moondog's spot? He's missing. Like anyone's missing now. Yeah, Iron Mike Sharp, where's he? It's great.
Before it was just sort of top guys, like which top guys missing. They fucking nailed all them. So now it's really on to like hitting anywhere.
Yeah, so up next is this is one I wanted to put higher, but I don't like the coat in the end because it doesn't. I wonder if the coat exists just to hide tattoos, but this is King Harley Race.
It's an odd choice because he never wore it. So he
Yeah,
had a
no,
cape, didn't he? And I don't think he ever wore a weird coat jumper.
no, but do you think he's got quite I don't want to say iconic tattoos, but he was quite tattooed. Do you think the coat's just there to like, oh, let's not even deal with the tattoos?
I don't know. Billy Jack Haynes has tattoos.
But does the figure?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
it
Oh,
must just be to make him look like a king, and maybe they couldn't make a cape
no. I
because
mean,
nothing's fabric, is it? In these toys, there's no sort of Liz's dress maybe, but with the guys, it's all like sort of rubbery hats and things like that. So he's got a crown, and they've just sort of stuck like a coat on him that looks like a sort of royal coat, not too dissimilar to his cape. It's got like the furry bits on the shoulders, but yeah, it's just it makes it worse. Nothing would be better.
I can't recall this pant and knee pad set, this combo.
No, but it's probably not too dissimilar. I think his trunks might have been more purple, but
Yeah,
maybe
so
that was the thing. I think it was all more purple, but because they've given him the purple coat, maybe they didn't want to give him the purple trunks because
so
it looked like a weird onesie.
it sounds like it's all negative, but we like Harley Race, right? I like Harley Race, and it's a
Yeah,
tremendous face.
yeah, the face sculpt's great.
And the main bit here is the crown. You get that crown, and you're playing King of the Rings.
Yeah,
That crown is loose. It's not molded onto the head. So yeah, this
uh,
that's
and as soon
exciting.
as anyone else wins that King of the Ring, you're chucking this Harley race in the bin.
Not the bin, not the bin. But yeah,
So okay, then in the bath, that's your bath toy.
yeah, I'm excited for the crown. That's a nice bit. That's a
Yeah, that is a good bit.
underrated bit
Like a
to
world
come.
title, tagged titles. If you bought 2 packs, and now you got a crown opportunity. You almost have to look at that then and stick him higher because if you're a child wanting it, that grows your universe in the LJN figures.
No, exactly. He's a crucial piece of this puzzle, and he's cool. Harley Race is cool. So yeah, he's so high, despite it being a very weird outfit choice. And he's not ready to wrestle, which I hate. He deserves his place. Very much deserves his
I
place.
think on there was a SummerSlam or something. There was one show where Harley Race wrestled Junkyard Dog, and I think I had it on DVD, and I gave it to my younger cousin who lived in England. He came over to Jersey, and I had like a spare anthology box set. I think it was SummerSlam, so I gave it to him, and he's quite a lot younger than us, so he might be like 10 years or so younger. So it's like I was 20, maybe he was about 10. So he was watching wrestling in the 2000s and had never seen any of the old stuff. I gave him this anthology box set. And I sort of, next time I saw him, I was like, oh, what did you think about it? And he goes, I thought it was weird. And he's like, it's all so slow. I remember one of the things I think he pointed out was Harley Race against Junkyard Dog, in particular, sort of being weird and slow. I was like, oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's interesting. Because I grew up with that wrestling. So to me, that's what wrestling is. And then they've just got faster. Whereas he looked at it as wrestling was fast and it was way slower.
no, I loved the moment I saw Harley Race. We would have missed out on his because he's old at this point, right?
Yeah,
We would have missed out.
I think this is the end of his in-ring career, pretty much. Because when he was
Yeah,
in WCW in like '93 and stuff, he was a manager.
yeah. So we would have missed out on his proper like NWA World Heavyweight runs.
Yeah,
But he stood out even as this king gimmick because he took tremendous bumps.
yes,
He would like do these.
weird stuff where he sort of goes. I think is it like a bump he takes outside the ring where he's sort of
Yes,
falling outside the ring and he's vertical
he'll
and stuff
go
like that.
back over and sort of come down on his face on the apron and stuff, and he's
Yeah,
just tremendous. I've always got a soft spot for those beautiful bumps. When a wrestler takes a unique bump, it's tremendous. So Slaughter used to do is like sprinting into the corner and just going over, and I've never seen anyone else do it to this day.
yeah.
Out
And he
he
did it when he
fucking
was older as
goes.
well. Like he
Yeah,
wrestled
yeah,
Triple H
yeah,
in '97, the boot camp match, and he was doing it then. The same sort of bump flying over the turnbuckle. So it's almost like a plancher to
yeah.
nobody.
And that's a lost art, right? Sort of wrestlers having their own style. bumping to an extent, right? You
Yeah,
can't
because there was
really.
quite a lot back then. So Bobby Heenan, $1 Million Man, had his own sort of weird stuff where he'd bump and sort of come right up on his head. Bobby Heenan's bumps are great. Adrian Adonis, who we'll speak about in a bit, his bumping was really good as well.
It's one of the perks of there not being essentially a training facility that everyone sort of
Yeah.
goes through, right? Because they learn
Like
the
the Rock
same.
Stunner. Do you remember the Rock used to take a Stone Cold Stunner and then he would take it and sort of push himself backwards off the floor
The Rock,
and do like a handstand.
Rob Van Dam used to take tremendous pole drivers and DDTs,
Yeah,
unlike anyone else.
just sort of back, flying into the air when he took them.
Yeah, so I would have been really young and stupid, I suppose, when I first came across King Harley Race, and I even appreciated bumping then. So yeah, top guy, top bloke, and later on in life, hearing that he's hard as fuck helps.
Yes, yeah.
That crown's not going on anyone else; it's staying on him.
It
You
has to.
can't,
He's got the coat on.
yeah, you can't do anything else with that toy.
Unless you get the kitchen knife out, you cut off his head and his waist.
Or
Fix the jacket on. So get Jim Brunzell, cut his head off, his waist off. Jim Brunzell's your king of the ring.
or you have a storyline where he's really upset that he lost the crown, and he refused to give up the coat.
He refuses to take off the coat when he wrestles.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
royal
I'm keeping
coat.
it on. I'm keeping it on. Okay, cool. Good storyline. Right, up next. This is a tremendous toy who I'm not sure why it's here because it could be higher. Ken Patera. Oh, there is one thing on this toy I don't like, but I understand it. His blue singlet has a WWF logo on it.
Oh, okay, what was it for? Was it Gold's Gym or something like that?
I think it should be like the USA Olympic team logo, but
Right. 'Cause he was a famous weightlifter, wasn't he?
yeah.
Something.
Yeah, so I don't think I like the own branding, but it makes sense, I suppose.
I never cared for Ken Pantera, and I always call him Ken Pantera rather than Patera, and I don't really know why, other than his great song that he did for Rob Van Dam. But
No,
I always thought he looked like someone's gran.
I agree. I was just about to say that. Yeah, he looked like a grand, didn't he?
Yeah.
I never cared for him. This toy is great though. Double bicep pose.
I think when he was a bit younger in the 70s, he had like bleached blonde hair and stuff, and he might have been quite cool. But in like 87 onwards, he was quite well, he looked older, but he did definitely have like a sort of weird grand haircut.
Yeah, anything I've seen him on, there was nothing to him, right? There was nothing to be
Yeah.
excited about.
I think it was way past his heyday, and he was just sort of here for one last run, sort of thing at this point.
Yeah, but solid toy he got out of it. I'll give him that.
He did, yeah, I do like this one.
Yeah,
It's probably one of my favorite ones out of the set.
agreed, agreed. So he can't have been around long. Loads of them now during this stint in which they're getting toys were in WWF for less than a year and a half at this point. So which pisses me off even more that Bob Backlund didn't get a figure after carrying the company for 62 years or whatever it was.
62-year world title reign.
Yeah.
No, bloody Ken Pantera's got a toy and he hasn't.
Yeah, and yeah, gets worse than Ken Pantera, mate, in terms of people miraculously getting figures. But yeah, great. I like the toy. I This might be one I'd be picking up as a kid.
You take it to your grandparents' house and your grand would wonder why you've got a toy of her and you're making them fight men.
Yeah, I say this is one the pose. I just really want. We talk about all these, Jake's rubbish pose and like arms being down or not quite. This is great. This is. Don't know what would you do with it. A big splash, sort of a gorilla press.
Gorilla Press, yeah. I used to look at that, instantly think Gorilla Press.
Yeah, cool looking figure. Give him that. Minus points for the WWF logo. So how high could he have been if it was the Olympic team logo? Wow, I dread to
One
think.
higher, maybe.
Up next is adorable Adrian Adonis. Like Adrian Adonis?
I think this toy is excellent. Got a nice amount of fat to him.
Yeah, it's a weird looking toy. It doesn't look like the same love and attention has been given to the face as some of the others.
Yeah, well, I think with the face, like sometimes they nail it and sometimes they don't. Like Cowboy Bob looks terrible, for
Yeah.
example. Some of the faces just are bad, though, aren't they? Like Brutus Beefcake was bad. Paul Orndorff was weird.
Yeah, he looks like he shouldn't even be able to stand, but I'm seeing evidence that he can stand. He's got like weird, his legs are to the side. It's a weird figure. I do love it though, and I again, my enjoyment of Adrian Adonis, because this was just a punishment of him, wasn't it? Like,
For
because he was
being a
like,
little bit fat.
yeah. So I think he was refusing to lose weight. So Vince just made him this like overly fat gay character to be mean.
Yeah,
Back in the 80s, that was enough and he nailed it. He did really well with it.
he's excellent. So we were chatting and sort of asking each other, like, surely he should be considered one of the top big men because how agile he is.
Yes.
So with your like Bam Bam Bigelow's, your Vader and stuff like that. But a lot of the stuff he does, like that's athletic, is his selling.
Mm.
So he's flopping all over the place when he sells. Like it's not really his offense that's really athletic. So he doesn't sort of do moonsaults off the top rope like a Vader or Bam Bam. But just everything else he does, he fucking moves.
Really good.
And WrestleMania 3 as well, like business really picked up on that show when it was him against Piper. That's when the crowd really started rising. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
then he died as well really shortly after this in a car
Yeah.
crash.
Yeah. It wasn't even his weight. I think he had got himself together a bit in an
Yeah.
attempt to, yeah, such a shame. But no, tremendous. And especially, I would have loved a figure of his sort of like hard man biker gimmick as well.
Yeah, that'd been good. It's a bit better than this, isn't it, really?
But yeah, this is great. Wacky, wonderful, good.
Yeah, I like it. I like the way he's got a bit of podge to him.
Yeah, no, solid figure. And that's, yeah, this is the top half now. So there's no complaints about these figures, really. Up next, I'm penalising the next one because I don't know when he wore black shoes. Right, it's Ted
And also,
Arcidi.
yeah, the
It's
question is who the fuck invited Ted Arcidi
it,
into
it
Toyland?
it's Ted Arcidi. He did wrestle. He was apparently, I don't know if you can spot him on the video. He was apparently in the Battle Royal at WrestleMania 2, but I have no
What are
memory
you
of him
about to say
being.
in the crowd?
Yeah, no.
Who's in the crowd at WrestleMania 1?
He was in the Battle Royal of NFL players, but no recollection of him being
Well, the
there.
thing is with that match was there was a load of bland NFL players, so a bland wrestler fits right in, doesn't he?
Yeah. I don't know how many matches he would have had at this point. 4 or something to be
I think he was
getting a
on the big
figure.
event and he was against Tony Gurria. So I watched it recently and I remember seeing that in the lineup and thinking, fucking hell, like Tony Gurria. I don't think I've ever seen a Tony Gurria match. And Ted Arcidi, who I've never seen a match of his either. I paid zero attention to it. I was probably on my phone during that match and I missed it.
Is this one of those things? Do you remember the story of Tom McGee?
Yes. Mega Man, Tom McGee.
So basically, he wrestled Bret Hart, and everyone went, "This guy's fucking amazing,"
Yeah.
not realizing that it's Bret Hart who's amazing.
Yes.
Did Ted Arcidi wrestle him in his debut, and everyone went, "Holy fuck, this guy's great."
It might have done, right? Because
And
he's
then,
really strong. So I think he broke a record for like he was the first man to bench press 700 pounds or something like that. But
okay,
he can't really wrestle well. He's huge.
oh,
He's a really strong man.
this toy looks tremendous.
It does, and it looks like he forgot his PE shoes, so he just had to wear his schoolies. So it's like schoolies, white socks.
These black shoes are really, really bad, but that shows how good this toy is for it to still be this high.
Yeah,
These,
I really like this toy. I don't think it looks anything like Ted Arcidi though. So the thing in my head is like, this is what Ted Arcidi looks like because all I've seen is the toy. Then you see him on TV and he goes, that looks nothing like the toy. But I sort of judge this toy as being the right version of him.
again, it's a nice massive toy with a great pose. I
Yeah.
think he scales a bit bigger than the rest of them as well. Superb. How long was he in WWE, WWF? Less than a year and a half.
Who knows? Who the fuck knows?
Wasn't there again? Like I'm sure Bob Backlund didn't care, but if I was Bob, I'd be seeing these come out and I'd be gutted.
Especially if you've had a chat with Greg Valentine. He's told you his royalties check 150 grand. So you're knowing Ted Arcidi's getting like 150 grand for wearing his school shoes.
That's
Bob
it.
Backlund's got nothing.
Yeah, this
Thanks
is
for coming, Bob.
who invited Ted. But yeah, it's great toy. I would love if I was to go now seriously buying these. I would love all these ones of these random guys.
Yeah, I really like this Ted Arcidi. It must be the only toy made of him as well, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. I
It's
can't
not like a
imagine.
weird Japan. He went to Japan, had a weird figure or anything like that.
I don't think so. Maybe he gimmicked up. And we don't. He was actually the Patriot, and we didn't realize.
Maybe bodybuilders collect figures or something like that, or like strongmen, and like everyone's all the people who are fans of strongmen have all these toys of Ted Arcidi that we
Yeah.
don't know about. Oh, it's in the Strongman series.
But yeah, what's Ted RCD doing having a better toy than Jake the Snake Roberts?
It doesn't make sense, does it?
No. I
All
think it's
shoes and all.
objectively a better toy than Jake the Snake Robinson.
It's really good. I really like this one. I like the proper sort of girth to him and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, tremendous. Yeah, other than the shoes, if this had white shoes, holy smokes, this would be top three.
I think I would like it less if it had white shoes. I
Oh
think I like
wow.
the school shoes look because it looks like
Okay.
shoes and socks rather than what would just look like rubbish boots.
Okay.
You'd look at it and say, why haven't they put the laces all the way up? But now you know it's socks.
Okay. Fair enough.
Welcome to the world of Marty's brain.
Well, up next is another guy who seemed to, for the size of legend he is, right, and how WWF, WWE treat him, he just had very small stints in WWF a couple of times. And that's Kamala, the Ugandan giant,
Yeah.
right?
So we grew up early 90s. We saw his feud with The Undertaker. I had no idea when I was younger that he was in it before and feuded with Hulk Hogan and things.
Yeah, but I think all his stints lasted like no more than 14 months each, possibly.
That would make sense though, because it's a wild gimmick, isn't it?
Yeah.
It
Well,
really
literally.
doesn't just move around like quite a lot, because otherwise you realize it's bullshit. So maybe it's a case of keep him moving territory to territory if there still is any.
Yeah. Well, so it's nice to get this legend, right? This is a great toy. This is another one. If this had a leopard print skirt, it would be higher, but instead it's just got a funky orange and black striped one.
That's Tiger, mate.
It's a weird tiger. It's a massive tiger, right? Where the stripes are very far apart.
So yeah, I guess tigers are random and I shear it. I don't know. How do you get tiger skin onto a skirt?
And I think we've said before when talking about this that, this was the late 80s where there is no internet, right?
Yeah.
So some designer's been told to paint leopard print and he doesn't know what that is.
It's not even in Carter on Windows 97.
And
We're
yeah,
10 years away from that. So what the
no
fuck are you going to do?
idea.
Buy a
What
book?
he asks his mate, and I say he because in the 80s they didn't hire women.
No, it wasn't a woman's job working in a
It was,
job like this. Like,
I know.
they had to be like secretaries and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it was a horribly sexist world, and he must have asked his mate, what do leopards look like? And he's like, I don't know, just do orange with black stripes. That's it.
Speaking about men and women's jobs,
Yeah.
when my kids were a bit younger, they used to like rent the Sooty DVD,
Okay.
Sooty and Sweet,
Yeah.
70s, and they used to rent it from the library, which you could do. It was proper old, so it was like before Sooty and Co. that we would have grown up watching. So Matthew Corbett's there, and he's like in front of school kids, and he's like, "What's a man's job? Oh, a footballer, saving the ball, and then sort of does a little song about it. What's a woman's job? A secretary, like typing away, and it's like you really couldn't do this now. Like I
No.
often sing these songs around the house, and I get in a fucking lot of trouble for it.
Well, you don't mean it. It's just a catchy song, right?
I think it's funny. I guess that's what I mean by it. I mean it's a funny joke,
Yeah.
and my missus does not think it's a funny joke.
Kamala's wearing a skirt here, so maybe a woman's job is a Kamala.
Yeah, I would like doing a proper tiger because this guy hasn't done a good job of it.
No, yeah.
It's a
So
woman's job, researching tigers.
yeah,
Researching away.
that's how they got their big break. They came in and went, "That's not a leopard. My handbag's a leopard. Look."
That's how they got their big break. The women. Good.
Skirt aside, this is a great toy. Just not accurate, but arms in the air, looks like he's, clueless in the jungle or
Yes.
pinning people face down. That was great, wasn't it? That was a great bit of his gimmick. I wonder if that existed earlier on, or they just did that for the fun and games of 92.
I
and
think that
93.
was later because that was when he even like 93, like 92, he wasn't pinning people backwards, but 93 when he became babyface with Slick, then he was pinning people sort of upside down.
So he regressed.
He regressed, yeah. Must have had like a head injury or something that was really serious, and we just didn't pick up on it.
Fantastic. What a character. Ah, up next. I love this figure.
Yes.
Outback Jack. Who the fuck is Outback Jack?
I thought that as well, and I was like, motherfucker, this guy must have done a crime, and that's why we've never heard of him. No, nothing. Nothing at all. WWF wanted to like jump on the Crocodile Dundee bandwagon as they got this guy to just be like an Australian gimmick. That's it. Nothing. That was his life. Nothing.
With a nice hat accessory as well.
And bearing in mind the guy from Crocodile Dundee was called Paul Hogan.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I was convinced he might be Hulk Hogan's cousin or something like that.
There you
They
go.
easily could have just brought him in, surely, just for a little thing with Hulk Hogan, where I don't know, they skin Kamala's skirt.
What was Outback Jack's career like?
I think maybe he was a gardener, and then WWF employed him because he was Australian, and then after that he went back to gardening. I got no fucking clue.
Fucking hell, if you some of the first oh, this might just be my algorithm, but some of the first results on Google are his LJN toy before you get any like information about his career.
Yeah, I don't think it's like the Bushwhackers where he sort of wrestled in Australia and New Zealand. I've got no idea what he's done. I think he's Australian. They wanted an Australian.
He was in Stampede briefly, but yeah, he was done early.
Yeah. Maybe it's like Zach Gowen. Do you remember when WWF or WWE at the time wanted to hire a one-legged wrestler like Zach? They wanted Zach Gowen and they hired another one-legged wrestler by mistake. Did you ever hear about that?
Was the one-legged wrestler called Tenacious C?
That's Zach Gowen, is it not?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
But,
know if I'm
but
making this up.
they hired the wrong one first.
Yeah, I did hear that.
But surely Tenacious C was Zach Gowen. I
Oh,
mean,
okay. I didn't know that. Didn't know that was what he went as. I just
I this is a guess when you said Tenacious C. Like
no, I think you're
I
right.
am no
Yeah,
historian,
yeah.
sir.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, someone might correct me, but
No.
I remember that being a thing at the time. Reading it as well, that they hired the wrong one-legged wrestler.
Yeah, this guy looks like a toothless drunk. This is an awesome figure. Great pose, one bicep, one arm out. He's punching his way to victory. He's got a nice little waistcoat. And because you're not that familiar with him, oh, I don't care if he wrestles in that. I've wrestled in a waistcoat. Top
Yes,
guy.
some of them you would judge and say he didn't wear this, but you'd look at Outback Jack. Go, well, he's got a hat that he can take off. Maybe the
Yeah.
rest of it sound.
Was he even a wrestler? Does he belong in the manager section?
Does he belong as a toy? Probably not. Does he
Yeah,
belong
no.
anywhere? Who
You
knows?
ask Bob Backlund, and he'll say no. Yeah, bonkers edition. Excellent toy though. I can't see an issue with this toy. I can't pinpoint anything I think they've done wrong based on images I've seen of him. This is superb. And like,
Good job, LJN. Good fucking job.
yeah, you've nailed Outback Jack. Well done. Andre the Giant, you had to have a couple of goes and you're still not there. But Outback Jack, you've done it in one. Well,
Well done. We can only assume you're right.
yeah, yeah, amazing. No, I'm a big fan, big fan. Again, this is up there with like one I would seek out now. This is one I want. The majors should redo him. Same pose and everything.
Yes, I'd be quite happy with that because when you look at the LJNs, they're really fucking expensive. I keep I keep going on eBay trying to find bloody LJNs since we started doing this. And I sort of look at like a Bruno Sammartino, it'd be like £60 or something like that. I'd be like, oh, that's quite a good price. It's fucking not, is it? It's like a loose scratch toy for £60.
Yeah, stupendous Outback Jack. Maybe he was Japanese champion or something. What do we know? But can't wait. Can't wait to track this down one day. I'd
I
like to,
hope he was never involved in wrestling. They hired him because he was Australian, and then they sacked him because he couldn't wrestle.
This figure looks so good. He's coming in. He's winning the championship very soon.
Oh, little Richie's putting him over.
Yeah, he's going
He's
to the
coming in.
top.
And, is he beating Hogan, or is it like a triple threat or something like that? Then how does he get the belt?
But I suppose by default, I've been sort of saying Hogan's the champ throughout, right? Which is an error on my part because there's no way he would have still be champion right now.
No way he'd be out. He's Outback Jack.
No, he's not. Yeah, no way he's beaten Outback Jack. Hogan might be attacked by Ted Arcidi or something here. This series, a few of them were coming together as a group of outsiders or people that you've never ever seen before and never going to see again. But yeah, big fan. Definitely championship material here.
And top 3 for the series, you reckon?
Definitely, I think
Yeah,
so.
I like it. I like it. I don't think I've ever seen an Outback Jack match, but
Based,
yeah, I would agree it's a good figure.
yeah, based on how it looks and playability, not on how much I'm familiar with the guy.
Yeah, just he's got a solid pose as well, like two
Yeah, that's what I'm
good
saying,
arms.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's tremendous. You can do a load of moves with those arms.
you could do a really good power slam.
Elbow drops at the lot. He's going to be unstoppable.
Tummy punches galore.
This is, do you remember essentially the Bret Hart in the Hasbro world might have been the best to play with?
Yeah,
This is the Bret Hart of the LJN line,
nice.
as far as I'm concerned. But there are two wrestlers I do think that beats this. So they must be really good, right? If I've just gushed all over this one.
You can only assume.
So, oh, surely you agree. Right, up next is Coco Beware, who is in full entrance gear here, which is usually a no-no, but this looks like such an amazing
He's in
figure.
full entrance gear. He's got a shit pose for actually wrestling with. There's something about him that looks
Yeah,
really good.
yeah. I'm not looking. I don't think he's coming in and wrestling. I don't know if he's going to be a commentator at this point.
Oh, this guy
He's
can drop kick people off the top rope still, though, right? He's got
yeah,
the legs.
but after the match that featured someone else, he's
I,
not
I,
wrestling.
I reckon he could do enough of it. I, I'm always a bit torn with guys in entrance gear, despite the fact of everything I just said about Outback Jack.
How about Jack
I
is on
think it
stock?
must be down to the pose, right? So you look at Outback Jack, like, oh yeah, he can logically wrestle in that gear because look at his arms, he can hit people. This guy isn't
Yeah.
doing anything.
No, this is yeah, this
But good
full
toy on display.
full awkward coat, weird arms, but Frankie,
The parrot.
the parrot, Frankie, is there too to perch on his hand, I guess. Yeah,
Do you
this is
reckon he's
this.
still got that now? The parrot.
Do I reckon anyone's still got the parrot?
No,
I
do you reckon
reckon.
he's still got it? Because he had it, right? So it was his parrot. They lived like 200 years or something stupid.
I mean, I'd be stuffed.
He's stuffed.
I carry it around in a suitcase when he goes to Independence. Been to a taxidermist.
Fucking hell. No, it might still be alive, is what I'm saying. Do you think he's still got it?
Do they really live to 200 years old? Or is that
They
what
live
I'm
really old, yeah.
Parrot. We're learning. I'm learning. This is great.
Do you not remember, like, my partner Sam, her mum had a parrot and they are supposed to live a couple hundred years, but it died of, like, gas poisoning or something. And that's how she knew there was a leak in her house. The parrot died. Carbon monoxide poisoning, I think it died of.
Okay. So I think there is examples of them living more than 100 years, but it's not common, is what.
Okay, oh, maybe it's like 80 years they live or something like that then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Something
yeah,
daft, like if you buy one as an adult, it's going to outlive you. So it's going to become like your kid's problem or something like that.
yeah. Okay, cool.
So maybe Coco Beware was thinking, like, I'm not going to see past 50. I don't mind carrying his parrot around for a bit.
No, and he's had a good innings, hasn't he?
Yeah, he
Your
has had good
Coco.
innings. Yeah, he's still going.
He's one. He's one that I would love Mattel to give a Legends contract to, and we would get a nice Colosseum collection done in this style of him in that outfit. That would be tremendous.
Yeah, that would be good.
Him and Outback Jack, please, in the same set. That would be.
And Ted RCD.
Yeah. Well, no, they come in pairs. So let's not be ridiculous, right?
Sorry, mate. Can we get in the next series then? Ted RCD and Tony Gurria.
hmm
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I assume Tony Gurria is coming up in one of the next two series.
But not of LJNs. We know that because we can look at them. But
Ah,
maybe of Mattel.
yeah, Coco's in second place here. Tremendous toy. I'm breaking the rules of not really wanting to wrestle with him for this just because it's so good. But yeah, he
Break rules because they're all made up.
he's not taking championships off anyone.
Yeah, he's just there because he looks nice. He does look
Yes,
good as well. Like
right. That's it.
that's a
That's it.
shelfer, isn't it? Like that's
Yeah,
one
yeah,
that'd be on a shelf and look really good.
yeah. He'll be on commentary.
So next, last
Oh,
but not least,
last
thank
but
you for
not least.
sticking around to see the final reveal, not only of who's number one on Rich's list, but also who done a murder. It is
Oh, this is Billy Jack Haynes,
fuck yeah.
but he's not number one because he's done a murder. We don't like murder.
No, but it's funny to talk about, isn't it? I feel like we sort of gone on this bandwagon. We have to just ride it out.
Yeah, oh yeah. We've accidentally brought it up a lot. It's not our fault. Some of them do murders, right? He's one.
The
But
funny
this,
thing about this, I didn't think Billy Jack Haynes had done a murder. I remember there was some sort of weird stories about him, like from the 80s or something. So when I went to look it up, I was like, oh, he's done something. I know Billy Jack Haynes is mental or something. He's done something weird. Like, turns out he didn't really. He started his own wrestling promotion after leaving WWF, and it was rubbish. It sort of failed. He couldn't pay the guys, whatever. But then last year, he was arrested for shooting his 87-year-old wife, or however old she was, 80 something, dementia patient.
there you go.
Wild. What did she do? Like, I look at the LJN figure and I think, right, he's got a hat, and that's pretty easily lost. And we did mention that his hats were really nice. Maybe she put his hat somewhere too many times. She couldn't remember where she put it.
Yeah.
So he killed her out of anger. Or it was a mercy killing because she's got dementia. Maybe he's a lovely guy.
Maybe. But he's not in first place because of the murder. He's in first place because this toy is superb.
He'll be in the first place of mine just because of the murder, though. Like just everything about the story of Billy Jack Haynes. I like it. A
I
wrestling
just
promoter turns wife murderer. Sounds great. Right up my street.
I his hat isn't as sparkly or flamboyant as it should be.
No, it's just a black hat, but it looks a bit.
I think there's some green trim on it, I think. But yeah, no, solid figure. Looks just like him. Another guy who, why is he getting a figure? He was in WWF for like 14 months or something. But what a figure it is. Again, playability with this, two fists, both up in the air. You're doing loads of stuff with him. And like I said before when I was talking about Hercules, his match with Hercules, I really enjoyed it. He had something, this guy. I don't know what went wrong with his WWF career.
So maybe it should be mental. But he was good. He jacked physique. He looked nuts. Yeah, I like Billy Jack Haynes. All for him, mate. All for him.
Although now,
And,
now,
you're realizing he doesn't look like Billy Jack Haynes at all. He just looks like a normal bearded man, like the genius.
I think I'd prefer him if he was wearing knee pads.
Oh dear. Here we
Oh, I
go.
fucked
Oh,
it. I
I was just
fucked
thinking
it.
as well before, like all these guys seem to have the right knee pad combos.
I think, hey, if you're listening and you're either a knee pad enthusiast or a massive Billy Jack Haynes fan, let me know if this figure is inaccurate because this has bare knees.
I think he would have had knee pads, and I think they would have been green as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He absolutely was wearing green knee pads at WrestleMania 3. And on his boots and trunks and stuff, I think he had Oregon written, and I
I
wonder.
think he does on these. So we're just looking at like boxed versions of them. I think it does say Oregon on the boots. And it's got tattoos as well. So they have gone through quite a lot of detail on him.
Oh, it does have the tattoos. You're right.
Did you think I was just making that up?
He does have Oregon on the back. I'm surprised that you've gone to the effort of seeing him from multiple angles.
No, I research things enough until I find the right words that I need.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Oh, and it's another one where his poster, his rolled up artist poster, comes with there's knee pads on the
Yes.
drawing.
The
All
the
right,
guys drawing the posters must be raging with the guys doing the toys. It's like they've probably done like minimal research and found that they had knee pads on.
excellent face, excellent toy, weird gimmick. He can't be first.
Oh,
I think he's going to third. I think he's going below Coco and Outback Jack.
oh man, I think if you're doing this, you need to put Outback Jack top then because you can't put Coca Beware top.
I
He's an
think
entrance gear.
I think you're right.
There's something about them, right? Like if it's a lot of them, Coca Beware could be second. But
It's weird, right? Because it's not just. I know this seems like we're being wacky and like just. We are just making up, right? So I'll make these lists, and then as we start talking about them, we're sort of looking at them as we're talking about them. I'm like, oh man, then you can do this move, and then they evolve whilst we're talking about them. And
yeah,
as I'm sort of coming to the conclusion that I would have Outback Jack as champion, and Coco's not touching the title, it's like he's gotta leap him, right? So yeah, the top three is Billy Jack Haynes, Coco Beware, Outback Jack. Controversial.
made perfect sense in my head though because when as soon as you said you're moving him, I was like, he's putting Outback Jack top.
It's that's completely fair. All right, so you sound sort of happy with those top three. Where would Bret Hart go?
I'm gonna put some thought into it after the pod before we post our rankings on.
Okay,
I'll put some thought
okay,
into it because I quite like the fact that yours is here now, and
yeah.
I'll look at them all afterwards when you demand to know my rankings.
Okay, yeah, which I do. All right. Well, oh, that was fun.
Yeah,
We
nice.
have five managers to talk about.
So on the last series, we did stick Liz in the managers section. It's up in the air whether she's this one or that one. But I did find out this week that there was some other casts made of Liz, or at least the resin prototypes with people fucking around the factory. So there was one where she was in lingerie, and there was another one where she had full on, well, she was fully naked with like nipples and a vagina.
Amazing. And
I I think it's going to be funny in that factory. Maybe there's other things that are going to come out one day, like a Jim Knight out with his dick out or something like that.
has this all been verified, right?
Yeah, I think the guy who worked at LJN said yes, there is at least these.
Wow. That's weird, right? Weird to because you sent me the link to an article about it, and Liz is in very detailed lingerie with like one of those sort of underbras that pop out the bare breasts, and
Yeah.
it all looks very detailed and incredible. And then I look at fucking Ted Arcidi in his black fucking shoes, and I'm like, could you not have put a bit more effort into these instead of like wacky,
It
saucy Miss
must be
Elizabeth type?
guys just dicking around, like just sort of making them right and sort of saying, "Oh, I did this Liz in lingerie," and then another one comes over and just I did it fully naked.
Yeah.
Just as a joke and as just a bit of fun, but they exist.
Can we even post that?
I don't know that some of the pictures are available. I don't think I've seen an actual naked one. I've just sort of read things about someone who worked at LJN saying that was a thing.
Yeah, bonkers. Good little tidbit.
Yeah,
Oh, the weird thing about this set of managers is the last series three, all the ones called managers were managers, right?
yeah,
And this is just sort of other roles. So Vince McMahon's in this. He's up first, right? And that's just based on he was an announcer at the time, just a
yeah.
commentator. I'm
A few different sort of announcing jobs, but
yeah, and in terms of me, it's a cool enough looking Vince, but in terms of me being a child and wanting, he's going to be way down on my list of wants, I think.
yes, as a child when Hasbro's are coming out, um, if a Sean Mooney came out, I don't know if I'd have wanted it so much. So, I mean, if you have a choice for wrestler, or even if they did managers, you wouldn't get Sean Mooney, which is this is what Vince was at that time. It was that sort of announcer.
Yeah, and there's so
I don't
many.
think he's even doing commentary really at this point,
No,
like in
and
the 80s.
there's so many of these LJN figures, the actual wrestlers, that every time you're going to choose to add to your Fed with an actual competitor over Vince McMahon, the announcer. I think.
Yeah,
I
I'd
I
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, nice red jacket, blue trousers. The poster shows sort of beige trousers, which is a nicer look. So that's a shame.
And on the card as well, his name is written wrong. So it says Vince McMahon poster inside. That's all written correctly. And then it says Vince McMahon, like actually on the card, like saying who it was, but it's spelled McMann.
Oh, not the ones I'm seeing. So that
The carded versions.
yeah. So
Ah,
they must have got that changed.
so that there in the little yellow smegma circle. But this one doesn't say manager on it. That's just the one that says LJ, the standard.
Yeah, but he definitely was in the manager line because
Oh yeah,
there
he
was
was. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Just don't need him in my Fed. I don't think. He all he is an announcer at this point. He's not big evil boss or anything. That would change things if he was like terrorizing the talent at this point.
But the really good thing about these is how wide a spectrum they have. Do you know what I mean? So you have the wrestlers, top wrestlers, mid card wrestlers, lower card wrestlers. Then you got like managers, and we get on to now you got announcers. So
Yeah.
it has a whopping scope of things you can sort of recreate and do.
Well, that carries on here with Mean Gene Okerlund. I've got up next, and again, that's sort of backstage correspondent
Mean
interviewer,
Gene was
right?
so big though. I'd say Mean Gene was almost like sort of a top guy. Do you know what I mean? Like he was top tier when it came to doing things. So he was always there interviewing Hogan after the big matches and things like that.
Yeah, the figure looks very small.
Good.
It looks too small.
No, Mean Gene was tiny.
Mm. I don't, that's, I would rather, yeah, I rate Mean Gene above Vince in terms of job role, right? I can
Yeah.
imagine wanting after a tough match, the wrestler rolls out the ring and Mean Gene gets a few words of him, right? But yeah, the way he's holding the microphone sort of up and behind him almost is a bit weird.
I
I
think that's
don't.
perfect.
No, hey, like you say, it's great to have the option of getting these extra roles, these extra characters, right? Because Hasbro didn't do this. Hasbro didn't do ladies. Hasbro didn't do announcers, interviewers, a cage,
Referees, managers, and yeah, like
tag titles.
this
Yeah,
has a lot.
managers.
When I was a kid, all the videos, Mean Gene was interviewing the guys on all of them.
Hmm
So
hmm
if you're going to recreate that, fantastic. If you're going to recreate like a primetime wrestling, that's where Vince McMahon comes in. So you could do like your episode of Fuji Vice and then have Vince McMahon have them and interview them after an episode of Fuji Vice with what we spoke about last week.
Yeah. Right, and that carries on, right? So up next is two referees,
Yeah.
one in a white shirt, one in a blue shirt. I'll include them both. I prefer the blue shirt because it's more what I remember from this time
Yes.
period. But as we saw with the Wrestling Classic, they did wear white shirts.
This reminds me, the Wrestling Classic, that's one where Lord Alfred Hayes is being a pest.
Yeah, we don't get a Lord Alfred Hayes still.
That's no surprise. We also don't get the referees with blue trousers and white shirt.
No. But again, right, this is a great addition.
Yes.
This
So
is
this is the thing we didn't grow up with. We didn't grow up with referee toys, like which weren't allowed them. The closest we could get was a big boss man, because I remember having a big boss man Hasbro doing a special guest referee.
the closest we got was a sound box with a Hasbro ring that counted 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's true.
But but it only counted 1, 2, 3 to the best of my knowledge. You couldn't have one counts or two counts. Once you press it, that's it. The end of the match, right?
I don't have a sound box. Yeah, that's the one thing I need still with Hasbro's.
Ah, don't get it now, mate. Go down the LJN route.
Yeah, get all of these first.
Yeah, so the first four managers are essentially not managers. They're just extra fun, extra bits for this
Yes.
universe.
And I would also agree with your positioning of these as well. I think mine's exactly the
Right,
same.
in terms of like how you'd want them and how you'd want to play with them.
Yeah.
Winning this little section is a stunning figure. Possibly, I think I say this a lot, but possibly one of the nicest figures in this entire line. And it's luscious Johnny V, manager
Yeah,
of the Dream Team, manager of our favourite team.
Dino Bravo and Greg Valentine.
You're not wrong, but I was thinking of the Brutus Beefcake
I know.
version. Yeah, no, nice
Yeah,
way of
it's a really good toy, but
it's superb.
the referees are great as well. Like you don't need referees to play with these toys, but it's a great addition. But also you don't have free hands. And
Yeah.
do they even have a slappy? Do they have a slappy hand? No,
Um,
they don't. It's a fist. But because you got to, you could also do like the Al Hebner swap thing, can't you? With Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan. So that sort of thing as well just opens up the play.
oh, he'll absolutely count the free though with that
Oh, yeah, you
fist.
can smack it down.
Yeah, no, this is and having ref bumps.
Yeah. In fact, you got ref bumps. You got like managers who can interfere with their canes and things like that.
This is
You got other guys who could interview them, like outside the ring, like backstage.
these are more fun than Hasbro's,
They are.
right?
We did grow up with Hasbro's. I was always like, Hasbro's is it? Like Hasbro's, you can't get better than this. But when you start looking at this, how varied it all goes.
Yeah, well, you got a ring, you got a cage, you got a cage. So big feuds culminating in a cage match to stop all the outside interference from Outback Jack.
If your manager keeps interfering, you stick the guys in the cage.
Right. But
the referee could just be on the outside as well.
Yeah, but Jimmy Hart can throw his megaphone through the cage like holes.
And then afterwards, Mean Gene can interview him as to why he did that. So we posted up on Facebook as well the Piper's Pit sort of drawings that they released. They were going to do a Piper's Pit. It looks like it was all cardboard. There's no reason, Rich, why you can't design this and just sort of print it out.
No, but still, like that's
good, isn't it? So you can have a Piper's Pit, things like that. So
yeah, feuds starting on Piper's Pit. Yeah, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Imagine your kitchen floor when all this world is going on. You know what we could do as well is like once we've gone through all the wrestling toys, is then rank which sort of set is better. So are LJN's better than Hasbro's or better than
it's so hard to assess when we loved the Hasbro so much, right?
Yeah.
But discovering all of this and the idea of having all of this, right, versus all the Hasbro stuff, I'd be tempted to say this would be more fun.
I think you might be right.
Oh dear, that's
the only way we'll find out as well is if we buy all of it, because that's how you have to tell. Like if you put all your Hasbro's on the floor on one side of your lounge and all the LJNs on the floor on the other side with cage and managers and people are getting interviewed by Mean Gene, and your Hasbro's are just fighting.
And skirts are being ripped off.
Skirts are being ripped off.
They don't even have female Hasbro's.
Nothing.
Oh dear. And they've got tag titles over this side.
Yeah. You haven't even got tag champions of your Hasbro's. You got a world champion.
You've got a world champion.
Yeah. And if you're lucky, Sting might show up with a WCW belt, but not quite fit in.
You've got a king with a crown here as well.
Yeah.
Oh dear, this is a rabbit hole I don't want exposed. If you was to ask me before this very conversation which was the best wrestling line ever, I would have said Hasbro easy. Easy.
Yeah. But the
But
more you dive
now,
into things and start looking at how much stuff there is.
because it's not even as simple to be like, well, the Hasbro's all looked better, because some of them look dreadful. Do you know what I mean? You had the same thing going on here where there were amazing looking ones and
And
dreadful
Bart
looking
Gunn,
ones.
yeah.
But Buggun was nowhere near the worst either. Ah, it's a tough old world. Yeah, I feel like we've really uncovered something today. I feel like we've realized something today that's changed our entire lives.
It gets that realization when you're like, oh shit,
Yeah,
I'm gonna end up getting these, aren't I? Because
yeah,
before I was looking at, I might get one. I might get one. I don't mind if it's all chipped and it's got its hand bitten off. And now it's
yeah,
like, oh god, I want everything. I mean, there's a
yeah.
lot of them, so it is hard to sort of build up. What would you get wrestler wise, manager wise, announcer wise?
No, it's always tough making a decision. But so you're in Woolworths,
Okay.
and your older brother Darren is staging a bit of a protest because he came in to get the Mantaforce giant 2-in-1 spaceship, which housed 10 smaller vehicles, but it's completely out of stock.
Well, that's good because in the future it'll be worth nothing.
It's not good, mate. He's gone outside.
Oh no,
He's gone outside and set himself on fire
I'm trying
in
to choose.
in protest, right? And your mum's like, "Fucking hell, Martin, we need to go and put your brother out, right? He's getting burned. Can you bloody hurry up and make a decision here? Pick one wrestler and one manager, please."
Just one wrestler. That's the big. This is quite hard, Mum. Like manager wise, what do I do? Do I go? I'm either going to go referee or Mean Gene. I'm going to go the first one I see, and it's a Mean Gene. Like I don't have free hands anyway. I don't need the referee. I'm okay with that. I can just say free myself. Shit, 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 shit. Right, I need a toy. Darren's burning alive. Mum, can I get a 2-pack? Because I really want this Heart Foundation. Like,
Oh,
I know we're pressed for time, and I know you probably can't make a decision. The Manta Force isn't here anyway.
that's true.
Like,
You
so
can.
you're going to save money there.
There
Like,
you
we can quickly get this Heart Foundation, put Darren out, and we can go back and all just sort of sit around whilst I play and you seal Darren's burns.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Right.
that's
I'm going Heart Foundation and Mean Gene.
okay. Okay, good.
And I
Darren's
really hope that Darren's okay.
he survives, and he'll be with you at Woolworths next week.
And he does eventually get the Manta Force as well, and it's still on my parents' loft.
Oh,
Worth
did he actually
nothing.
get that one?
Yeah, later on, yeah. I
The
think
giant 2-in-1 spaceship which housed 10 smaller vehicles.
I think so, yeah. Is it the big white one?
It's got like a handle on it. It's like a big ship.
He's got some Manta Forces in the
Oh,
loft.
we'll get him on
red,
for the
one's
Manta
white, yeah.
episode, and he can tell us all about his trips to Woolworths.
Yes, trips to work. So why did you set yourself on fire? You wanted Manta Force, it wasn't there, so you got really upset. Most kids would just cry. You set yourself on fire outside.
Over the top, Daz. Hey, can't take him anywhere. Okay, that's a good choice though. The Heart Foundation 2-pack and Mean Gene.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely going Outback Jack and Luscious Johnny V.
Okay. Well, at least we know that you can go around to my house and we can sort of play.
I like Darren, and I'd visit him in hospital as well.
Yeah, okay, there you go. With like a couple of Manta Force characters out of maybe your collection.
Yeah,
Like I've got you these 2 purple men.
yeah. And he'll get really
For
upset.
when you're better.
Get really upset and set himself on fire.
Oh, God's sake. When he was really little, he did spend a bit of time in Great Ormond Street, but I don't really know why. I was too busy getting wrestling toys. I guess that's us for the day.
Yeah, I suppose so. That is it, right? Because there's nothing to say like who's missing. They're all fucking. Yeah, as we say, there's anyone here.
Well, now I just think sort of where's a Tony Gurria toy ever?
Yeah, Moondog Spot is the one that I'm like, where the fuck is he?
You want a Moondog Spot? I want
Yeah.
a Tony Gurria. We'll see who wins.
Yeah. Okay. All right. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
We all need some action in our lives. Everyone needs fun, it can't be humdrum all the time. So get some action figures in your